shack, huh?
Yeah. I just wish my parents was here to see me.
You know something? I knew your parents. Yeah. Big Apple and Samson. That's what they named you, man.
You knew my parents?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me all about them, Jasper. Was they in love?
No.
What do you mean?
No, nigga, they weren't in love. In fact, they were married to two different people. Yeah.
So it was some type of fling?
No, Master Johnson made them do it. Yeah.
I don't understand, Jasper. Come on, explain to me now. Come on, Jasper. Explain what you're trying to do.
Let's say. Oh, we got enough time. Come on. All right, listen. Master Johnson had this thing called the master plan. He figured if he had breeded the two biggest, strongest slaves of the plantation, he'd have a son, be the biggest, strongest slave there is. Even if it ruined families in the process, he didn't care about that. And your mom's husband, he knew what was going on. He charged Master Johnson. And Master Johnson just shot him right there in front of Big Apple. Big Apple was never the same. And your father Samson, he knew what was going on, and they sold him off rather after they forgot how much he was worth. They got big money for him. He was big man. He was big. And this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing, right? That other slave owners are doing the same thing. Breeding the two biggest, strongest slaves and getting a super slave. I hear you. This might be next, boy.
No, I will not. I will not. I'll never do nothing like that. I'll never do anything like that.
Don't do something crazy now and get yourself lynched, all right? Listen, think about it, brother. You get to be a stud, all right? You get to have the ladies, the big strong ones. Serena, Venus, nobody? Listen. If they ever have a thing called professional sports, your offspring will break off. And break all kinds of records. And then white people say, why does he keep winning everything? You just say, blame Master Johnson and the rest of the slave owners. That's how you do it. Let's get back to this here. Let's get back to this.
You know what, Jasper? My mom, my pa can't be here. Glad I got you.
Boy, I think those hits like that give y'all choked up. Boy, you know I got a bad heart. Let's go in the shack get some bread and preserves, boy. Give y'all choked. Look at your big self, boy. You better work it.
I'm gonna play in the water. I'm gonna play in the water. Children play in the water.
When Abraham Lincoln became the 16th president, 11 southern states withdrew from the Union, calling themselves the Confederate States of America. Not wanting to be known as the president who lost the country, Lincoln sent the troops to the Confederacy for the Civil War. By late 1862, the Confederacy was beginning to take charge of the war. Lincoln and his advisors needed a new strategy.
So what's the latest word?
Actually, Mr. President, it seems that the Confederacy is winning.
We're losing the war? How is this happening?
It's the Confederates, sir. They really believe in their cause.
You know, when I started out, I just wanted to be a good president. Like Washington and Jefferson. Maybe get my picture on money. How did I allow the country to split in half?
It's not your fault. The southern states thought that when you became president, you're going to abolish slavery.
I told them I wasn't going to do that.
They didn't believe you, sir.
But I'm honest Abe. I chopped down that damn cherry tree.
That was Washington, sir.
Whatever. I need to win this war for my legacy. Every president has a legacy, and I'd like to have a good one. When they open up the history books, I'd like them to say that Abraham Lincoln was a good old man.
Mr. President, we were thinking, actually, there is a way you could win this war, but it's a little bit radical.
How radical?
Well, you know how we could hurt the Confederates? You could free the slaves.
No, seriously.
We are serious. You could free the slaves.
Are you crazy? My wife's family would kill me. They already don't like me. You see the way they look at me at Christmas dinner.
Mr. President, it's actually a brilliant idea. I mean, think about it. The Confederacy gets most of its funding from the plantation owners, most of which are fighting in the war. If you free the slaves, they'll have no one working in the fields. The crops will fail.
That's right. And failed crops would mean those soldiers would have to go back to those fields to work those. We would win.
Yeah, and you know how the Confederates believe in their cause. Can you imagine if we have the Negro man fighting for his own freedom? He'll fight with more tenacity than any Confederate soldier.
Or my wife. You don't have to live with her.
Okay, what about this? What if you only freed the Confederate states?
Maryland, Delaware, Missouri, Kentucky. Yeah, they can all keep their slaves.
Your wife can sleep better at night knowing that slavery still exists in the United States of America.
Good. The freed slaves. Will I have to sit next to them in restaurants?
No, I'm not going to.
Come on, we go with some laws preventing that. That's disgusting. That's too serious.
That's a relief. Well then, let's do it. I'll make a speech. One that rhymes. I'll call it, if you want your freedom, pick up a rifle and pull the trigger. Don't sit around like a lazy... Bad politics.
We were actually thinking Emancipation Proclamation.
How's the ring? Stanton, write that for me.
Right away, sir.
Good.
Go home and celebrate, Mr. President. You're about to go down in history as the president who changed it.
I like the sound of that. You know, when this whole war business is over, I'm going to take my wife to the Ford Theater to see a play.
No, we were thinking it's probably not going to be so safe for you to travel in public after the war, sir.
What's the worst that can happen? It's not like I'm going to Magic Johnson's theater.